Not too familiar. My city though, my city is real gritty. Like growing up in my city, it is dope because like a lot of people are doing their thing. Like a lot of professional athletes come out of my city. It's a lot of people that do a lot of things. A lot of videographers, a lot of.
This is the Leo CLIMACO podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Leo CLIMACO podcast. I'm your host, Leo. Today's guest is Ruben Morillo. Hi, Ruben. Welcome.
How's it going? I appreciate you guys for having me here.
My pleasure, bro. Tell me, how did you get into financing?
How did I get into financing? I first started off in a network marketing company.
Okay.
And the network marketing company, it was pretty much for finances. So we were teaching people how to invest into crypto. And naturally, when you're learning about cryptocurrency, you're learning about like the foreign exchange market.
Right.
Credit is just one of those things that just tie in, you know. So after the company shut down, I started to look into credit. I started to build my own credit. And while I was in the network marketing company, I was already building my credit because of the fact that we were traveling to different events, just swiping my card, learning about different credit cards. I always wanted like a high limit credit card. So, I was just looking into credit, finding some of the best cards that I could get access to. And then once that company ended, it kind of intrigued me. And I had a friend group where I was kind of just like putting them on to the information that I was learning. So I would learn about, this Chase Freedom Flex card. Yo, you guys should apply to this. I learned about the Amex. You guys should look into this. And not everybody would qualify for those cards. So then I seen like, okay, cool. There's a problem here. If I can come up with a solution, because that's what I was taught in the network marketing company. The more problems you can solve, the more money you make. So I was like, if I can teach people how to fix their credit so they can qualify for these cards, I can make a lot of money. So that's when I really decided to take it serious.
Why do you think so many people fuck up with credit cards?
I think they're just misinformed.
No?
They're misinformed, and then they're not thinking long term. A lot of people, their thoughts are short term.
Right.
They're not thinking if I use this $6,000 on this credit card and I don't pay it off, long term this won't affect me. Right? They don't know that that'll stay on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. So it's just like a lot of misinformation. I'm pretty sure if people understood that when you mess up your credit, it's going to be like a long-term issue, they probably wouldn't do it. So, yeah.
There are these companies out there like Federal Debt Relief and all these companies. Mm-hmm. They say they can bring your credit back in 24 months. Is that true?
I'm not a big fan of debt consolidation companies, because what they do is they tell you, for a lot of my clients, before they come to me, they go through debt consolidation companies.
Right.
And then those companies, they have two different things that they can do. They can either pay off all your debt, right? And then you pay them off and you have a low interest rate that you can pay. But in order to qualify for that, your credit has to be somewhat good. So most people don't qualify for that option. Instead, what they'll do is they'll tell you to not pay any of your credit cards that you're already in debt with.
Right.
And that's when late payments and collections get tacked on your report. And then they say they're going to go and negotiate with these companies to lower how much you owe.
Right.
Right. But most of the times, 9 times out of 10, that never works. So clients are coming to me, saying that debt consolidation companies told them that they were going to lower how much they owe, and nothing got done. And now they're just left with accounts that are in collection, late payments, charged off accounts, repos. So I'm not a big fan of debt consolidation. I don't really recommend that to anybody.
Probably getting sued also, right?
Yeah, exactly. They get sued a lot. Like a lot of my clients get like letters in the mail talking about they have to show up to court and they're getting sued for this debt that they haven't made any payments on. So I'm not a big fan of debt consolidation.
What would you suggest they do other than going through these consolidation companies?
So I have a couple different partnerships with a couple different companies, and what they do is they provide people with personal loans. So they can get you a personal loan if you have over a 650 plus. So what I try to do is, if I know somebody that they're in massive debt, their utilization is through the roof, I'll try to work on their credit as much as I can, get their scores above 650. I try to structure their credit report, and then I go to one of these companies. I say, hey, listen, this is my client, Lucas. Lucas has a 670. We're looking to get him a personal loan of $20,000. He's super responsible. He can pay you guys off. He was going through a tough time. If you guys can get him, $20,000, that would be amazing. So what I'll pretty much do is I'll leverage my relationship with these companies to get my clients a personal loan, and then with the personal loan, they'll pay off what they owe, and then they're gonna pay off a cheaper interest rate with these personal, companies that I work with. So that's what I try to do.
How old are you, bro?
26.
Young. When did you begin the network marketing?
2021.
What company was that?
I Am Mastery Academy.
I know them very well.
Yeah.
I used to be a part of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a part of them back in 2018,
Oh yeah.
2019, like right before COVID. A good buddy of mine is still with them, Neno.
I know Nano. Yeah. I don't know him personally. I heard of him.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He was in that seat like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah.
I also know, what's his name? Crypto guy.
Picasso.
I met Picasso once, but the other guy, the bald, what's his name?
Bald.
Fuck, forgot his name. It's gonna come to me. But he was the one in charge of the crypto division with Picasso for I Am Academy. Also, very, very knowledgeable dudes. I had a love-hate relationship with I Am Academy because I thought that they were very good in the sense of providing the information, giving you the knowledge, right? Having all the courses in the morning, at night, jumping at any time and you could learn. But I think they were a bit too pushy with having you bring on people.
For sure.
And I think that put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth.
Yep.
You know, they just wanted a service. They didn't want to be part of this quote unquote pyramid scheme, right?
Sure.
But they can teach you. You can learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
You know, and they can give you a bridge to catapult off of, like Neno. Neno's someone that began there and is now spoken on 26 countries all over the world. You know, and that has really helped them have that light shone on him. Did you ever think that you'd be doing this?
Nah, I didn't. Honestly, it's just like when the company was shutting down, it's like we all needed to find something because our income cut in half. For me, it cut off all the way, so I didn't really have a stream of income anymore. So
What level were you?
I was a platinum 2000,
Nice.
right? So I didn't really have a lot of bills back then, so that was pretty good for me. You know, we were trading and stuff like that, investing in crypto, so I was Gucci. But like once that got shut down, it's like, damn, what's next? So I was Ubering. I would put my car on Turo, looking into building my credit. I was looking more so for like a loan,
Right?
Because one of my best friends, he was in Airbnb already. He already had a couple Airbnbs.
Got it.
So I'm like, damn, if I could come up with some capital and I can just send it his way, and he can help me invest into some Airbnbs or get like some type of property, that would be amazing. So I was kind of trying to do everything possible. I was Ubering, doing Turo, building my credit. And then I got myself approved for like a business credit card, 0% interest for like 12 months. And I used that money to get myself my first Airbnb in Connecticut. I used to live in New Haven, Connecticut. That's where I went to school. I played college football there. So
What'd you play?
I played at Southern Connecticut State University. I was a defensive back.
Nice.
Yup, for 2 years. I stopped during COVID though because they kept canceling the season. But yeah, to go back to your question, it was just trying to find something to do. And as I started to build my credit and I started to get myself access to funding and stuff like that, I realized the importance of it. And that's when it came to my mind, like, damn, if
A
I
light
can
bulb
teach,
went off.
yeah, if I can teach everybody this, like I'm gonna make a lot of money. And I started credit. I started doing all this stuff. Like you probably see it on social media right now. It's trending. A lot of people are doing it. Like I started this like 5 years ago, like before it was even hot. So I have like a lot of good connections when it comes to the space. I work with a lot of good people. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I've interviewed, 5 or 6 guys that do same thing you do.
Yeah.
And all of you are successful. All of you are making money.
Yeah.
That just shows that like there's no saturation.
It's not.
You know what I mean? What's the hardest credit card to get?
The hardest 2 branches is going to be Chase, and then Amex is also difficult. They require you to have a certain credit score. They require your credit profile to look a certain way. So those are going to be the hardest, but they also come with the most benefits. So when you do get them, there's a lot of benefits that you receive.
I'm guessing also if you fuck up your credit, those are the 2 worst to get back, right? Or to resolve.
Absolutely. So they're gonna look at utilization, how much you owe compared to how much you have. They're gonna look at if you have any negative items on your report, and then inquiries as well. Banks don't like to see that you're constantly applying for new lines of credit because they see you almost as like
Desperate,
exactly. So what we do is I know how to remove those inquiries. I know how to hide utilization. There's a lot of different things I know how to do, and then I also know how to build and structure your credit profile. So I'll send clients to certain banks that I know will approve them for high limits. You look at credit unions, Credit unions are nonprofit organizations. So when you go to a credit union, you're going to get the lowest interest rate, and you're going to get the highest limits. So I always send my clients to credit unions. I add credit builders on their credit profile. I'm not sure if you heard of like Kickoff before, Self, Lender. You have Credit Strong. There's a lot of different accounts out there that you can open up. It'll look like you took out a personal loan, right? And you're making on-time payments on that loan. So those really just structure your credit report pretty well.
So I got to tell you, I would have been a great person to be your client a couple years ago. 2021, bro, I had every credit card you could imagine. American Express Platinum, American Express Gold. I had Chase Sapphire. I had every freaking credit card. Today, I have 0 credit cards. I fucked everything up. During COVID, I own a therapy agency for kids with autism based out of New York. My wife and I own that together. We do in-home and in-school behavior modification for kids with autism, right? So I have a contract with the DOE of New York, the Board of Education of New York. During COVID, they stopped working, so they stopped paying me. So I leveraged all my credit cards.
Yeah.
I took cash out on every credit card I could to keep my company going and to keep it running, right? And the DOE didn't pay me for almost a year. I didn't get paid till almost 2022.
Damn.
Yeah. So I couldn't pay them back. So it fucked up my entire credit. And I actually went to, what's it called? Freedom Debt Relief, I think it's called.
Yeah.
They reached out to me. This was like about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Reached out to me. I went with them. We did a 24-month program where they resolved most of my inquiries. They were able to negotiate most of my deals. I think there were 1 or 2 where they couldn't do.
Yeah.
And just now, it's been like almost 4 years. Just now, I'm back to 650, almost 700. So it's slowly climbing up.
Yeah.
So I sympathize with your clientele because I've been there.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially being an entrepreneur, you know, trying to grow a company, build things, right? And you need capital. Mm-hmm. And credit cards are the easiest way to get that capital.
Absolutely.
And if you don't manage that shit properly, it will fuck you up. So I think my wife just got her first credit card again a couple months ago. I don't have any currently. I've been almost 4 years with no credit cards. It taught me a lot.
Yeah.
It taught me that if I don't have it, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I'm not buying on credit anymore.
For sure.
You know, if I have the money, I'll buy it. If not, I'm not gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm older, more mature, right? And I think that lesson really taught me the value and the relationship required with credit, right? Mm-hmm. It's not, I see it as emergency nowadays, right? You almost need to have that in order some shit goes wrong, you got that thing to bank on.
Yeah.
What do you think is a healthy relationship with credit? What does that look like?
When I look at a healthy relationship with credit, I want you to think about, so you want to have a total of 7 primary accounts on your credit report.
That many?
7 primaries, yeah.
Wow.
So you want to have 7 primaries. So a lot of people talk about trade lines. I like to focus on primaries. I want you to build your own credit history. So I would say at least 3 to 4 credit cards, and then you should have at least 3 to 4 different primaries on there. Whether it's an auto loan, whether it's a mortgage, whether it's those credit builders I was talking to you about.
Right.
But I think 7 accounts is like the sweet spot. That's healthy to me. Like when a bank pulls your report and they see 7 accounts on there, that looks good. And I know you were talking about just being an entrepreneur and just struggling to come up with cash and stuff like that. When I try to teach my clients, I try to teach them 0% interest funding. I'm not sure if you heard about that before, but with 0% interest funding, there's cards now that you can get for your business that come at a 0% interest rate for 12 to 16 months. So you think about this podcast here. How much did you think you spent on it?
To put this together, about 40, 50 grand, give or take.
40 to 50 grand. So most people don't have something like that.
And that was all cash.
Exactly.
I have no credit cards.
Exactly. Most people don't have that. So what I do is I fund my clients. I repair their credit to get them funded, right? Let's say I have one of my clients, he's looking to get some money for his business. He's looking for 30,000.
Right.
We'll repair his credit, and then I'll use my banking relationships. I have relationships with a couple people at different branches, and what they'll do is I'll submit my clients for funding, and they go through a process called underwriting. So I'm connecting them directly to an underwriter where now I can get you approved for 40 to 50,000 that you'll receive upfront today, and it'll be 0% interest for 12 to 16 months. So let's say you knew this podcast was going to make you money. You already had the clientele. You already had people that were coming in. You'd be able to take that 40 to 50,000, invest it into, new mics, a new camera, some new lighting, whatever you think is going to make it pop out more.
Right.
And you don't have to make big payments for an entire year. You only have to pay back 1% of what you're utilizing. So if I get you 40,000, you max that entire amount on whatever it is that you need. You're only required to pay back 400 for that entire year, a month. Right, so that's super affordable,
That's
and
crazy.
it provides you with the upfront cost at 0% interest. So it's just a smarter way to go about things, because I know you did it with cash, but some people can't do that.
No.
Right? Especially
Right.
like a startup business.
Correct.
So we'll fund them at 0% interest. We'll sign a contract, and what I'll do is I'll make money on the back end. I'll charge them a 10% fee once they get approved. Right? So I'll get them the funding up front. Once they receive access to their funding, I'll charge 10% on the back end, and then now they have enough money to go and fund their podcast, to go fund whatever they need, and they don't have to worry about making big payments every month. So
That's awesome. How many clients you got? How many clients have you had?
it's like over 2,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have a lot, bro. Like a lot, because
That's good.
5-6 years is a lot. Yeah, funding.
That's awesome.
This year is self-funding over 50.
Wow.
Yeah. So think about it. I'm charging 10% on the back end from every single client I get funded. Every client's getting, I would say, minimum 50,000. So when you're getting a minimum 50,000, my
It's
back
$5,000.
end is 5,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm closing a lot of deals. But the good thing is I don't get paid until I get someone access to money. So I feel like I have the best job in the world because I'm helping businesses flourish. They're
Correct.
getting access to capital, and then I'm just getting commission on the back end for, what I'm doing. So I've
That's
worked
great.
with a lot of different businesses that I see doing their thing right now.
How big do you want to get?
I want to be like a full-on funding company. Like when you look up funding on Google, like my company, I want it to be like top 3 that you see on there. Funding all types of companies, because the thing is, I don't just work with startup businesses. I also work with seasoned and developed businesses, because I can fund up to 5 million, right? I can fund a good amount. I work with a bunch of private lenders. I have a list of like 10 private lenders, and what I'll do is, right, let's say you don't qualify for funding because your credit isn't right, and I can't get you funded at 0% interest. If you don't care about interest and your business is already making money, I can go ahead and I can submit you to a list of private lenders that'll fund you regardless of what your credit is, and that's more so revenue based. So
Got it.
I can fund startup businesses, I can fund develop businesses, I can fund people that have good credit, people that have bad credit. It all depends on what your revenue is and what your credit looks like.
Is that one of those loans where you're paying back daily?
So that's an MCA, yeah. So we can do MCAs. It can be weekly, it can be bi-weekly, it can be monthly, it can be daily. So we can get you business lines of credit. We can get you MCAs. We can get you SBA loans. So it all depends on what your goal is, how much you're looking to get, and what interest rate you're looking for.
I've been in business for about 7 years with my therapy agency. I think I've taken out like 4 or 5 of those loans.
Okay.
MCA loans.
And how'd they go for you?
Not too bad. The payback is retarded, but
Yeah.
but it's not. But it's doable because I had money coming in.
That's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be making a good amount of money in order to get funded.
Yeah.
Like if I come across a person's file and they're making 10, 15,000 a month, I'm not gonna fund them because I know it's gonna be too much overhead. It's gonna be too expensive. But if
Right.
you're making 60, 70, $50,000 a month,
Yeah.
we can work something out now. So your business has to already be cash flowing in order for it to make sense. 'Cause
Right.
if they're asking you to pay $1,500 a week, right? You can afford that if you're making $50,000 a month. If I can get you an extra $60,000, $70,000 in funding, that's cool, because you can put that into whatever you want. Paying $1,500 a week, your business is already making that. So it makes the most sense for people that are already profiting.
Do you also do like refinancing?
Yeah. So we do refinancing as well. So what I do is with my clients, let's say I get them an MCA, let's say the interest rate is a little bit high, the payments are a little high. If their business is already making money, what I'll do is I'll tell them, let's get you approved for it, right? You can take a certain amount of money. You can put it inside an account.
Right.
You can have them take from it. So let's say I get you 70,000. You can put 20,000 into an account that they're gonna pull from for the first month. That'll cover your first month expenses. You're showing the company that you can make your payments. And what we can do is after you pay off 30% of what I get you funded, we can then refinance and we can get you a higher amount for a lower cost.
Nice.
So yeah.
What else do you do? Like credit cards, line of credits, refinancing? What's your whole, I guess, catalog?
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
So credit repair, funding, and then when it comes to funding is broad. So like I said, we can do SBAs, we can do cash refinancing, we can do I said SBAs already.
How hard are SBAs to get?
To be honest, you need to have your documents in order. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You need to have a profit and loss sheet. You have to do your tax return. So there's a lot of things that you need to have in order to get approved for an SBA. Most people don't have it, but when someone does, they get funded for a good amount, up to 500,000.
You got to put 15% down, right?
Yeah, 30% sometimes 50. Yeah,
But they'll fund you up to what?
up to 500,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get a good amount when it comes to SBAs. I actually have a couple private lenders that when I submit a file to them, we're gonna see what the best option is. So when my clients, I like to bring them diversity. I don't like to just, okay, cool, you can get funded here, for $60,000, that's your only option. I like to bring them at least 4 different options, whether it's SBA, whether it's MCA, whether it's a business line of credit. So I like to be diverse when it comes to funding for sure.
Let's shift gears. I want to get into you a little bit.
Yep.
Tell me about your upbringing. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in a small city outside of Boston. It's called Lawrence, Massachusetts. Yeah, so that's where I grew up. It's a lot of Hispanics over there. So
I think I've been to Lawrence, Massachusetts.
yeah. For what?
I have family in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I also I used to do IT for a long time before any of this. I worked for a company that had an office in Boston, and I used to travel all over doing IT work. I've been to like a bunch of these little towns in Massachusetts that I really don't know what they're called, but I think one of them was Lawrence.
Yeah.
Boston is an interesting place, man. I feel like it gives me like New York vibes, but not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it upset me for a long time that you guys had a TD Garden. Like, the fuck, bro? The garden's in Manhattan, not in Boston.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to love going there, man. I used to love going to Chinatown.
Yeah, Chinatown's fire.
Yeah, Chinatown's fire. I love that place.
Yeah.
I got family on Hull Street. What is that? Is that North End, South End, North End?
I'm not even too familiar
know.
like that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar. My city is real gritty. Like growing up in my city, it is dope because like a lot of people are doing their thing. Like a lot of professional athletes come out of my city. It's a lot of people that do a lot of things, a lot of videographers, a lot of content creators. So like it kind of just teaches you to be on your game. So like I like my city because it's super gritty. Like everybody's just hustling, trying to make it out. So like it kind of like keeps you sharp. Like it's a lot of people. I know the person to my left is gritty. They're working hard. The person to my right is the same way. So it kind of just kept me sharp growing up. So I appreciate growing up in my city. I wouldn't have it like any other way.
How would you compare to Miami?
I think there's not a lot of entrepreneurs in my city. That's one thing I'll say. right? Because I was an athlete, so that's why I was super sharp. But
Right.
there's not a lot of entrepreneurs. I feel like Miami, it's young, and there's a lot of people that are making money like my age.
Yeah.
So like the reason I wanted to come out here is just to be around that and just to build around
energy,
that.
yeah.
So that's the big reason I came out here, and then obviously weather's nice too.
For real.
Yeah.
What did you learn from playing football?
With football, it was more so just like when you get hurt in football, they kind of just brush it off and they kind of just teach you to go back in the game and just continue to move forward. Like when little things get in front of you, like little challenges, you just got to learn how to maneuver through it. And then I learned like within business, I kind of just like brought that same energy in here. Like whenever there's a bump in the road, I don't quit. I was taught to always just keep going, like just brush it off. So that's one of the biggest lessons. But I learned a lot in football. It kind of just shaped my mindset. I learned like, just to work hard, keep my head down, work in silence. And then I just apply all that in business, and I became super successful within like a few years. So like it's a lot that I learned. Like football taught me a lot, and it's definitely like a big reason to the success that I have. Like I love football for sure.
What would you say about that brotherhood, that locker room?
Oh, that was the best. That was the best. That's like the only thing I miss. Like I don't even miss the game no more.
Right.
I just miss like the relationships that I built, and it's crazy because a lot of the people that I play with now have their own business as well, right? Like when I was playing football, the people that I used to hang around, we all used to talk about business during the season.
That's awesome.
And now they're all super successful. One has a marketing business, one has a tax business, one has an Airbnb business, one specializes in day trading. So we're all kind of doing our own thing. One specializes in business startups. I specialize in credit. So like those relationships, those are some of my closest friends now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm still to this day, like we're around each other all day. Like today we're going to be going to, after this we have a networking event. We're going to be going to Sexy Fish. They have a networking event today. We're all going to be there. So like, I feel like everything happened in the perfect time. Like the fact that I ended up going to that school, we all ended up going into that school. We all stayed connected. They were the ones that got me into business. Without them, I don't know what I would be doing today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love football. Like it really just changed my life.
You guys should get together and do like a small documentary about that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
That's pretty dope.
We all just moved in together.
Dope.
We all just moved in together. So you know how like Castanet has this thing going on?
Yeah,
they have, like
yeah,
the AMP
yeah,
house.
yeah.
We're kind of doing the same exact thing, but we're documenting the process of making our first 5 million.
That's
Right?
incredible.
So we're all together. Just when I'm on a call, closing a deal, they're recording me. When someone's on a call, talking about taxes or whatever, we're just recording everything, trying to document it. And then at the end of the year, we're just trying to put everything together and just like, show the process.
That's fire.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Bro, you're saving money by living it all together.
Yup.
You are sharing resources. You could even share clients, and you guys are all sharpening each other.
Absolutely. So you know how I told you I do funding?
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people come to me, they're looking to get funding, but once they get the funding, they don't really know what to do. The good thing about having an inner circle that all offers different services, I can always send them somewhere else. And then not only do I make a percentage off the back end of getting them funded, I also make a percentage off of being an affiliate. So let's say my guy has an Airbnb. I know someone that's looking to get into Airbnbs. His course is $5,000. I make my $5,000 from charging my back end percentage.
Right.
I'll send them over there, and then he'll charge them $5,000, but then I'll also get a percentage off of that. So it's almost like we're recycling clientele.
That's dope.
And then we're all like distributing money, right? And then we're taking that money and we're looking to get into real estate this year. That's something that we've been talking about. We've been looking at properties that we're looking to fix and flip. So like we're looking to take money like that and invest it into things that can make us more money,
Of course.
So
I heard two things that every client is going to need, right? Funding and taxes.
for sure.
So like the two of you and I don't know who else does taxes,
Right
but
there.
the two of you, that's why you guys linked up together, because like the two of you guaranteed to make money.
Yeah.
Everyone needs funding. Everyone better pay their fucking taxes.
100%. Yeah, man. It's dope. It's
That
just
is
like
dope.
perfect timing. Like the fact that like I'm blessed to be in the position like that I'm in. It's like I didn't choose it. It kind of just chose me.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The way everything just happened, it was just like to see it unfold is crazy. Like everything makes sense.
Do you know what luck is?
Yeah.
Luck is being ready when opportunity knocks. That shit knocked on your door and you were ready.
Ready. I like that.
I'm
still in that one.
Go for it. That's what it is. Most people, everyone gets the opportunity, but not everyone answers the call when the door knocks.
Yeah.
And you got to take that leap of faith. you gotta say, listen, I'm gonna go all in.
Yeah.
I'm young. If I fail, great. This is the time to fail.
For sure. And you know what's, we all used to live together in Connecticut. When I played football, we lived in off-campus housing. And like when I go back, and I made a post about this on Instagram, but when you go back and you look at the house, it was beat down. It wasn't furnished. We didn't have money, but we had the mindset. And we just continued to push. And we said like, yo, like when we all get our businesses right and we make our money, we got to do this again, because that's where we all started. We had nothing. And then just being around each other, the energy, we'd watch personal development together. We'd take courses together. We'd find different ways to get to events together. We just made it work. It's like pool investing. And then that's how we all started our businesses. And now that we're all established, we're all together now. So kind of just to see like the stuff we went through back then, from having no furniture to being dead center in the middle of the hood to like where we live now is crazy. And now it's like we're going to take it to like another level because we already have the money, we have the resources, we have the connections. Now it's just documenting everything and seeing it come together.
Is there anybody that was in that house in Connecticut that is not successful today?
Nah. Everybody, it's levels to how much money's everybody's making.
For 100%.
But the fact is,
But everyone's eating.
Everybody's eating.
That's incredible.
Like we ain't leave nobody behind.
That's incredible.
Like, my boy Josh, he's like my cousin. He used to live upstairs, and he was struggling at one point, and we used to be like, yo, bro, let's do this, right? Because it was like a 7-8 bedroom, but we only had like 5, 6 people. So we had like some empty bedrooms. I was like, we all came together one day. We was like, yo, what can we do, right? We got a booking for Airbnb. We just listed it, and then I think the booking was like, up front, we received like $4,000, and then every month the person would pay like $3,500. So we were like, I bet.
To be in those 3 rooms.
Yeah. So we were like, all right, let's do this. This person, the tenant that we listed the Airbnb, we listed the Airbnb listing, and then that person moved in, and we're like, yo, like this is making enough money to pay all our rents. So now my boy Josh upstairs, I was struggling a little bit. He didn't have a rent to pay no more. Everybody's rent was paid, and now we don't have that stress of like, damn, how am I gonna pay rent every month? Where now we can't really focus on growing our businesses because we're focused on like rent and all this stress.
That's
now,
incredible.
Nobody had to pay rent. Everybody was living for free. And now we can really like invest our money into what we wanted to and just really diversify. So a lot of them really just started to look into Airbnb and would just get like a couple different listings, and they were making their money that way. But we didn't leave anybody behind. Everybody ran it up. We have a videographer in the group. Like I said, we have someone that does business startups. We have taxes, Airbnb, marketing. So everybody does something now, but everybody's eating for sure. So that's lit.
Bro, most people at that age are selfish as fuck.
Oh, dear.
Why do you think you guys were so united and looking out for each other?
It was a bond. That's what we were taught in football, chemistry. Like when you have for example, like when I was a defensive back, it was 7 of us. And naturally, like you're just trying to improve the group because if someone goes down, it's like next man up type mentality.
Right.
So you always have to make sure it's like one band, one sound. So that's the good thing about football because it kind of taught us how to work as a team. So when we stopped playing football and we moved into that 6-7 bedroom, it was teamwork. It's like, I bet if he's struggling, let's see how we can all help him out. He's struggling, let's see how we can all help him out. And it's kind of like that brotherhood that we got. So
that's incredible because most people would see it as dead weight and cut their losses.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. I love seeing that. I love seeing young men unite and help each other.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, as men, no one cares about us.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If we don't do it for ourselves, they laugh at you. Mm-hmm. You know? If you don't grow up and if you don't mature to fit the mold that they think that you should be in, you're a fuck up.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm really proud of you guys for not leaving anybody behind. That's fucking incredible. I love seeing that.
Yeah. Shit's dope.
You know? It's like, are they all immigrants?
No.
No?
Haitian, American, and then 2 Hispanics.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Either way, I love that. It just, you guys kept the opportunity alive for everybody to eat. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so the goal this year is 5 million? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Where are you guys at?
I just had my first $100,000 month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Last month, like
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm on track. I haven't really asked where everybody's at. I know we're just pushing right now. Like we're looking at the numbers, but we're not looking at the numbers. It's just kind of just like on go mode. Like what's next?
Right.
So we definitely have to sit down and see where we're at. I don't know exactly where we're at as far as numbers, but I know everybody's touching some good money for sure. I see deals getting closed left to right. Deals getting closed all day. So that's what we do. We stay in the house, right? Like a lot of people, I feel like when they come to Miami, they kind of let the lifestyle consume them. It's easy to let the lifestyle consume you. There's so much going on. It's a lot of fun. You know,
a lot of women, a lot of fun, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're inside, we're locked in. Like yesterday, we didn't even leave the house, just locked in, on calls, working, finding ways to make money. One thing we're working on right now, we're working on making a big offer, like an offer where all our services can kind of tie in, like something that's high ticket that we can sell at a high rate.
Dope.
So that's what we're working on right now.
What's his name? Ashton Hall?
Yeah.
I think one of the realest shit he said. What did he say? Temptation lives at night. Stay your ass home.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Temptation lives at night. Stay your ass home. Facts, bro.
It's a fact.
Yeah. Okay. If you weren't doing this,
Yeah.
do you think you still be playing football?
Nah, I think I'm a little too old now. And I'm also little. Like, I'm a little dude.
But you're probably fast as fuck.
Yeah. I'm quick as hell. But, like, usually, like, I don't know if I would have made it as far as other people would have made it. Just due to size and my position, like, defensive backs, they're fast, they're quick. Now they're kind of tall, they're kind of bigger than me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I love football so much. Like, my whole life, it was all centered around football. I kind of would have probably been, like, a coach or something.
Okay.
Probably just coaching because when I would go home, like in the off season, I would help out the younger defensive backs at my old high school, like just coach them up, working out with them. And I love helping people. So I think I probably would have been a coach, something like that.
Hey, you can still be a coach.
Yeah.
Plenty of leagues here in Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You remind me of like a Ryan Clark.
I like
You know what I'm talking about?
I know Ryan Clark. He's a safety.
Yeah.
I like Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
I like his podcast.
Me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. He's good. I love that, bro. Man, I think football has changed a lot of people's lives. Sports in general.
Yeah.
You know?
Keeps you out the streets.
Yes.
Keeps you around like-minded individuals. Everybody's just chasing like a goal, chasing a ring at the end of the year, chasing championships, wins, coaches on your ass. So it kind of just keeps you like focused. Like when we was in college, there was a lot of parties going on. There was day parties.
Of course.
When the day parties were going on, we had spring practice. You know, when it was parties going on, we had games, and sometimes our bodies would be beat up and tired.
Right.
So it's like, man, we took a loss. I'm not even gonna go to that. So it just kept us away from a lot of stuff. Like there was times where you'd be at games and things are happening like in the streets. People are dying. People are getting locked up. And it's like, damn, like those are some of my friends. Like imagine I wasn't playing sports because in the beginning, I didn't even like football. I didn't like football for the first 3 years I played it. I hated it because I was so small. People would just bully me and throw me around. And I used to beg my mom, like, damn, I don't want to play this no more. And she used to be like, Dominican parents, they're on your ass. They're like, nah, you gotta go. Like, I paid for this, too late, you gotta go. So I used to hate it, but it was one of those things that I hated it until I started to get good at it and I started to love it. So I thank my mom, I shout out to my family for just keeping me focused, keeping me in that, because I seen a lot of people that I grew up with like die, go to jail, and just take like some wrong turns.
Why football and not baseball?
I used to actually play baseball. I used to
Every Dominican I know plays baseball.
Yeah. My grandfather used to tell me like, yo, go play baseball all the time. But I don't know. I used to just have a fear of getting hit with that ball. That shit comes fast. It comes fast. So I was like, nah, I'm not playing baseball, man. Football's my thing. And I was already quick. And I used to have people that I used to look up to when it came to football. I used to like their swag. So I was just like, damn, I want to be like that. So I just kind of just gravitated towards football.
Speaking of that, who are your mentors growing up?
Like when it comes to football and stuff like that?
Whatever. Life, business, someone that you looked up to.
I used to look up to someone, his name was Tyrann Matthew. Tyrann Matthew, he wore number 7, and I used to wear I wore number 7 all through high school. I wore number 7 in college. That was just like my inspiration. Like, I didn't just like what he did on the field. I like what he was doing off the field. Like, he would always give back to his community. Last year, and that was the reason, like last year I did a giveaway. I gave back to my community. I did like a back to school drive. It was because I used to see him growing up do like back to school drives with his money and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And he was like a standout guy off the football field. Like he would do everything the right way. He was super humble. He used to be like a family man. and then he would go on the field and he would do his thing. He was like one of the best players at my position. So I used to look up to him on and off the field. I would mimic what he did on the field. I would mimic what he did off the field. So that's someone that like inspired me growing up, and it made me who I am, kind of.
What about business?
When it came to business, I used to look up to somebody, and that was my first business. I used to look up to somebody named Ray Rice. He was also Dominican, and then I used to look up to somebody, you know Bryce Thompson. No, Bryce Thompson. There were two super high income earners when it came to that platform. It inspired me because they were making a lot of money, but I also liked the way that they educated and they thought.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
Right, I pay attention to how people think. So I used to pay attention to them, look into, how they used to move, the things that they used to do, how they used to grow their business, and I kind of just used to mimic and copy that too. So
Smart. The best way to do it, right? You find someone who's done it, imitate them. That's really it.
do the same. You'll end up in the same exact.
Yeah.
They say find someone that's coming back from where you're trying to go. Right. So
Exactly. You a Cowboys fan?
nah.
No.
Why? Because of this. Right? Honestly, I was at Zara 2 days ago. I seen this shirt. I'm like,
It's a dope one.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
I like
good.
it.
What's your team?
I used to. This is kind of weird. I used to love the Browns.
Okay.
I used to love the Browns because my favorite player, he actually wore number 80, Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
I used to love his mindset. He was like a dog.
Yes, he was.
He was like, I'm a figure out. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the strongest, but he was super gritty. So he was like a dog. So that was one of my favorite players. When he got switched over to the Browns, I became a fan over there. And then LSU was my favorite college football team. He went to LSU, and then they started to draft a lot of LSU guys. They drafted someone named Grant Delpit. He was a safety. He also went to LSU. He went to the Browns. They started to really just like build up a super squad. They picked up Odell, Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, so around that time, that was just like my favorite team. Yeah. Cleveland Browns. When I tell people that, they're like, fuck. But yeah, I like the Browns.
What do you think about Deshaun?
Deshaun Watson?
Mm-hmm.
He was a dog on the Texans. He was like that. Right now, seeing his career decline is kind of like sad. Because it's like I feel like a lot of people from that draft class, they're kind of like falling off.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, you look at like Leonard Fournette, you look at all the running backs, they're all gone. You look at the Odells, like Mike Evans is starting to get a little old. Like that whole draft class is kind of.
He probably had the most success though.
He did, and like he's
Thanks
still
to the
doing
GOAT.
it. Yeah, he's still doing it. He's still doing it.
Yeah.
But like
Him and Baker were pretty good in the playoffs this year.
They were, yeah. But yeah, just seeing like that whole draft class like starting to like lose their jobs, and it's like, damn, like I thought they were gonna go on forever. But yeah.
You think Deshaun is too comfortable? He got that massive check.
I think he did. And then on top of that, it's just like certain things you can't control, like injuries. Like he tore his Achilles, right?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like what are the odds? And then before that he had another season-ending injury too, right?
I don't remember.
I think he had 2 back-to-back season-ending injuries, and then he had that case that was going on.
Yes.
So it's just like it's unfortunate. There was talks going on that like the Texans set that up because he wanted to leave the team or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, but who knows? It's all he say, she say stuff. But yeah, I actually don't even watch football like that no more.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I lost love for it like that.
Tell me why.
Just like when you go so hard into something else, that's kind of like the only thing you see. And when you go back to watching the sport, it's just like there's so much damage I put my body through, so much things I didn't have to do that made me no money. So it's like if I could have done things different, I probably would have still played football, but I don't think I would have played as long as I did. probably looked into other things, started business a lot faster because that's what I really like to do. I like just talking to clients, closing deals. That's just like my vibe. So, yeah.
Do you have a staff that works for you, or is it all you?
Yeah, so I recently just hired a lot of different people. I have closers, I have appointment setters, I have an operations manager, and I have an assistant. So they pretty much handle everything. So right here, while I'm on this podcast, I have calls being set up. I have people that are closing these calls, come back to my phone. I have contracts that were already sent out and signed, people that are ready to get funded, people that got started with credit repair. So I have everything going for me, everything that I need. And it's like a team thing now.
It's incredible. Having the right team is everything.
Yeah, for sure. I was
It
trying
really
to do
is.
everything by myself, and it was kind of getting stressful, especially like I told you, I work with over 2,000 clients. As I'm starting to onboard all these people and talk to all these people, I'm constantly on calls all day. It feels good because you're working, but
Right.
it's not duplicatable. I
Right.
can't do it every single day. I need someone to kind of fill that role. So I got to the point at the ending of last year where it's like, all right, I need a team now. And now I have everything set up perfectly. So, yeah, I have a good system set up now.
How much do you think, how much is this team costing you per month?
So the good thing is they're taking a percentage of revenue.
That's smart.
So I'm not.
And they were all okay with that?
I negotiated it. Yeah. So I gave them a number that they couldn't resist, right? Because I'm okay with taking a pay cut, knowing that now we're focused on volume. I can now make more because I can now speak to more people. When it was just me, I'd be able to take 10, 15 calls a
Smart.
day. If I bring in 10
Smart.
people and they're all taking 5, 10 calls a day, I'm making more even though I have a pay cut, right? So it's all about making sure everybody's making money, but now I can also make more money because I can focus on building the business. I can focus on marketing. I can focus on coming out to
I know
different
where you
events.
learned that,
Where I learned
in that house.
Yeah,
It's the same model. It's the same pattern.
exactly. And the thing is,
Everybody
like,
eats.
I'm one of the youngest. So like to be around older people that have been doing it longer than me because they started business before I did. I started in 2021. They started 2018. So they've already been through different trials and tribulations. I just sit back and I learn. Like sometimes they're having certain conversations in the house and they're older than me. I just sit back and I just listen and I take it and I'm like, all right, let me go apply that into my business. So it's dope to be like one of the youngest in the crib because I can really I'm still like a student kind of. Yeah.
Where do you think you learned this humbleness?
My family.
There's a humble level to it, which is very, very wise. You know, to understand that wise people learn from others' mistakes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would see like just growing up, just seeing my mom doing everything she was doing. She was working 3 jobs while she had me. So I wouldn't see her till like nighttime. And then just seeing like how she would usually like when you're working 3 jobs, like you're probably gonna be in a shitty mood. Probably got like so much going on, thinking about so much. Like she would just figure out a way to make everything work. So I was just seeing how she like moved, her energy, how she stayed composed. It was like I just took mental notes. My pops, he was an entrepreneur growing up. So he was like a club promoter. He actually was a part owner of a club too. So just seeing like him, because there was times after school before I started playing football where I would just sit in the backseat of his car and he would have meeting with his business partners. They'd walk around, they'd put like certain flyers up on walls and just seeing like how they would, just think about and plan out their next moves, thinking about like a bunch of different like business related stuff. I would just see it like in the back of the car. I would see them drop off flyers, market certain ways. I would see them like do like pay out certain influencers to come and like market the club. So just seeing all that stuff, just like it really just shaped me. And then on top of that, sports too. Sports humbled me a lot because I was the smallest person.
Right.
So I used to have to just work super hard. I would have to just keep my mouth closed. I wouldn't be able to talk because I can't really say nothing. I'm too small. So that all just shaped me into just being humble.
Man, having an entrepreneur dad must have been incredible.
It was fire. It was fire because like it's weird because seeing some of the things that he used to do now back then, I do now. So it's like, sheesh, that's crazy how like life comes around full circle.
Are you an only child?
I have 3 sisters.
3 sisters.
Yeah.
Are you the oldest?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
How is that, having 3 sisters? I have 1. How's it having 3?
You kind of just gotta be the model. And like they're girls, so they always going through a lot of stuff. You kind of just like, it's almost like I'm the mentor. Like they come to me when they have problems, when they don't know how to go about certain situations.
You're the big older brother. You're like the second father, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the role I take. So.
And you're closer to them in age, so a lot more relatable than your dad.
For sure. Yeah, there's certain things that they don't feel comfortable telling my dad, but they'll
For
come and talk
sure.
to me about.
Yeah. Whole different comfort level. It's incredible, man.
Yeah. And that kind of just helps like with that role kind of just helps with what I do. I'm on the phone with clients. I'm trying to solve as much problems as possible. Like, okay, cool. This collection just popped up on your credit report. How can I fix this? Okay, cool. You only got funded for 30,000. Your goal was 20. How can I fix this? So just learning how to fix problems is something that I've just been doing throughout my entire life.
Do you see them working with you, for you one day, or no?
Nah, they kind of just, my sister's an esthetician. Like my older sister's an esthetician. So she's already doing her thing. One of my sisters, she just earned a full scholarship to like one of the top high schools in Massachusetts.
That's awesome.
So she's like a nerd. She's like, she wants to do other things. So like a lot of them aren't business minded. My little sister is, but she already has her own lane that she's going through. So they all like different things.
What is your opinion on AI and how do you use it currently?
AI is fire. You know what's crazy? I was actually looking into AI with my operations manager the other day because when we were hiring closers and appointment setters, some of the appointment setters they weren't doing it the right way, how we wanted it done. And then we found a software where you'll have an AI assistant call the person as soon as the appointment is set, and they're answering questions. Because the thing about AI, as you continue to use it, it kind of just gets smarter and smarter.
Yep.
It picks up on
It learns.
Yeah, so it's like a functioning brain.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm having an appointment center that it's a robot picking up the calls. It's learning human tendencies. So it speaks. Sometimes it says like it takes like little pauses when it speaks.
That's awesome.
And it sounds like you can't tell the difference. Like a normal person can't tell the difference until
And
I
they
tell
don't
them.
sleep.
They don't
They
sleep.
don't eat.
Exactly.
They don't take breaks.
And they don't require you to pay them on a set schedule.
Or at all.
At all. So it's crazy. Like that's putting a lot of people out of business, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think that time frame is?
Within the next 3 years, it's over.
You think that little?
That
3
little-
years?
That little. You even look at like, I was in Brickell the other day and I seen a robot delivering someone's food. Like I don't know if it was off Uber, I don't know what it was, but it was just a little robot and it had food inside of it and it was driving to someone's house to deliver their food. So like when you look at that, it's like, even when you go to certain, you look at self-checkout. We was at Zara the other day. At Zara, they have a feature now where I bought this shirt where you just put the clothes on top of a machine and it knows the price. It knows the product. It shows you the shirt and the price to it. So like things are moving fast, bro. Like people are getting let go from their jobs by the day. So I say 3 years, a lot of people are losing their jobs. You look at editors, videographers. Editors, now you can upload some footage into Opus or something like that, and it's just gonna cut it up the right way. It's gonna tell you what has the highest chances of going viral from your footage. It'll put the words on there for you. It's crazy. So a lot of people are losing their jobs when it comes to AI.
Max says they suck.
To be honest, a lot of them do. A lot of them do. They just like they don't know how to add certain style.
Right.
But
you still need that human touch behind it a little bit.
You do. You need a human to oversee it, kind of just make their touches. But 3 years, I don't know.
They're becoming smart.
Yeah, it's getting very smart, right?
Coming super smart.
Man, I think AI's gonna take over completely.
I think so too. It's gonna be scary. You see the movie? You know what's crazy? I was having a conversation with someone the other day. They were saying that like they make movies for a reason. Like when you see a movie and it's like 5-6 years old and it's going over certain things and it's showing you certain things, like pay attention. You look at iRobot. iRobot, in that movie, they have robots that are walking with you everywhere. Kai Cenat had a stream the other day. He had a robot doing whatever he wanted.
I saw
for him.
that.
That's crazy. You look at, there was movies that were going over like COVID before COVID happened.
Right.
Like this sickness that was going to kill a lot of people and it was going to mess up like a lot of things. That happened.
The Matrix.
The Matrix is a big one. That's one of my favorite movies.
Me too.
Yeah, I love them. I love The Matrix and I love The Wolf of Wall Street. Those are probably like my top two.
That's a good one too. Yes. I think The Matrix is a documentary. You know what I mean? Like, man, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of that, what is your relationship with God? Where's God in your life?
I pray. I don't go to church, but lately, like all my friends been at the house. Every time we order food, before we perform, before we do something, we all hold hands, we pray over our food. So I don't go to church. I used to go to church heavy when I was young. My mom is Christian, so my mom is in church probably like 3 days a week. Growing up with her when I was younger, I used to be in church like 2-3 days a week for hours. Like I used to live in the church. As I got older, I kind of stopped going, but it's something I want to do, especially now that I'm out here. I know there's like a huge church out here in Miami I want to go to. It's like he's like a white pastor. You know what I'm talking about?
Talk about Voss?
Yeah, I want to go to that church, but that's something that I've been looking into, just trying to get back into the flow of things, because when I used to go back then, it was like a dope experience. I used to learn a lot about the Bible. I used to meet a lot of good people, so I definitely want to get back to church, but I still do pray. I believe in God. I thank God for a lot of different things that happen in my life.
It shows. It shows. Your energy and your frequency is very high.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very intelligent, and you wouldn't be where you are today if you didn't have any faith.
100%. Yep.
Where do you want to be in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I want to be the biggest in my space, like the absolute biggest in my space. Like when you think funding, you think of like when you think of real estate, you think of like Grant Cardone. There's certain people that you think of when it comes to like certain niches.
Right.
When you think of funding, I want you to think of me, like that Rue guy. He's the one. Like the same exact way that you see Grant Cardone when it comes to real estate. Like that's the person that comes to mind. Grant Cardone, real estate. I want it to be the same exact way when it comes to funding and like the credit space.
Last week, my son was off from school, and we went to the beach. It was good weather. Bro, I'm at the beach. Grant Cardone's helicopter flies this way.
That's crazy.
And then it flew back the other way. Literally.
Crazy.
Yeah. Huge ass chopper right on the beach.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm really trying to live a great life. I'm trying to automate everything, have certain systems set up, certain people set up where I can enjoy, my family, I can enjoy my life, and just because I'm not really trying to, right now I'm like in hustle mode. I've been in hustle mode for a long time. Once I touch 30, I want to make a transition. I don't want to be in hustle mode no more. I kind of want to just like enjoy everything that all the seeds that I planted. You know what I mean?
Want kids?
Yeah, I want a big family. I want like 3-4 kids. 3-4 kids, yeah. I want like mini me's. Yeah.
Good luck. God bless. I wish
you have kids?
I have 2. I got a 5-year-old boy and a 2-year-old boy. I have 2 boys. I wanted 4. I'm done with 2.
Yeah. Too much work?
It's a combination of things. Yes, a lot of work. A lot of work. But I think it's more about timing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm 37. So if I have more kids now, it's going to go into my 40s. Right? And like, I want to enjoy my kids.
Absolutely.
Like my 2.5-year-old's at a great age. We can travel. We go all over the world with him. He can talk. He can tell me what he wants. I don't want to have to go through pregnancy all over again and then have a newborn and have to go through all that all over again just to get to where we are right now. Mm-hmm. We're already here,
Yeah.
I want to live life, enjoy life. I got my beautiful family, got my 2 kids. Let's go live life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think 3 or 4 would be amazing. Mm-hmm. Be incredible. Part of me does want a girl, Why? Because I know what it feels like to have 2 boys. And my heart knows how much I would love a girl.
Yeah.
My boys run to me, daddy, daddy. And it's that male energy.
Yeah.
I would love to feel that from a female energy. That's my daughter.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But probably won't happen. But I'm okay with that. I have a niece. I use her for that.
Yeah. I would think I want 2 to 3 sons, and then I want a daughter. I want them to like look after her. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like you said, I kind of want to just like experience what it's like to have a daughter.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a great experience. It teaches you a lot about women too.
Oh yes.
So.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have your first kid till you're like 31, 32.
That's what I've been trying to push for, because I'm 26. I'm trying to wait it out. Like I want 30, 31, around that age.
I have my first kid at 31.
Nah, that's good.
It's a good age.
Yeah, I need that.
It's a good age.
Yep. That's what I'm aiming for. I tell my girl all the time.
So, what would you tell your friends and your family back in Massachusetts about Miami? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, I was reading a book one time, and it was about a farmer, and it said that the farmer, he was having a hard time like growing, and what he would do is he'd go to different settings to kind of get new ideas, get like a new smell, some fresh air, kind of just be around like new vibes, new frequencies, and that kind of like expands your brain, right? So I would tell the people back home to kind of be like that farmer. Like, you want to go to different areas, you want to see new things, you want to experience new things. It opens your mind and it shows you that there's more. Like, the reason that I went so hard and I feel like I had so much success is because when I used to be in my other company, I came out to Miami for events and I would just see the luxury cars. I would see the nice apartments, the penthouses. I would see like all these stores. I would see like celebrities, rich people. And it's like, I knew this is where I wanted to be. So when I went back home, I was moving at a different frequency. I was thinking differently. I was working harder, and everybody was kind of like in the same spot. So like, it helped me move a lot faster. So when I came out here, it's like, damn, this is where I want to be. So like, I would say for people that back home, you kind of just want to try new different things. Like, you only know what you know.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
You have to go out there sometimes and just try new things, see new things for yourself. And yeah. So that's what I would say, man.
One last question for you. How do you deal with failure? What does failure mean to you, and how do you overcome it?
When I think of failure, I think of like L's. I think of lessons. Like, I take L's all the time. I don't really trip no more. When I was younger, like whenever something used to go back, I used to panic. But as I continue to go on, as you continue to get mentored, you read more books, you start to realize like, it's all part of the process. So like, I like L's. I embrace my lessons. Like, there's times on social media where I'll show people where I mess up, just so they know like I'm not a perfect person. I'm going through all these different things, and it kind of just shows a different side of me that people don't really see. I feel like on social media, a lot of people are portraying like a perfect. They're trying to look perfect, right? I don't go for that. I like to show my lessons, and I go through it so much I don't really care. Like, it is what it is. On to what's next. Sometimes L's push me to go a little bit harder so I can make sure, certain mistakes don't happen again.
Right.
But it's a lesson. Like with football, my coach used to teach us, like, you don't want to make the same mistake over and over and over again.
Correct.
If you make the same mistake over and over again, he's pulling you. Right? So let's say on a play, I made a mistake. He's going to say, okay, bet that's your first mistake. It's cool.
Learn.
You make it again, we're pulling you. Right? So we kind of would just see like people failing and making the same mistake over and over again, yelled at, lose your spot.
Wow.
So I would learn early on, like, I make that mistake, don't repeat the same mistake. I can make another mistake somewhere else, just make sure it's not the same one. So I would just learn. I would just pay attention to details.
It's a strict-ass coach.
Super strict. That was the best coach I had.
I bet.
Best coach I had. You make the same mistake twice, you're not seeing that field again. So, yeah.
That's crazy. What's your favorite book?
Favorite book? For beginners, I think Rich Dad Poor Dad is an amazing book. I feel like that kind of just shifts you into like that entrepreneurial mindset, because in that book, his father, it works like a regular job. He doesn't have a lot of money, and then he comes across a friend that has a rich dad, and he kind of sees like the both worlds. So like, I feel like for someone that doesn't have a business and they're looking to get into business, it's good to read that book, because you can see how both people think. You can see how a rich person thinks compared to like someone that doesn't have that much money. So I think that's a great book for people to start off with. Yeah.
All right, I lied. Last question.
All right.
I want to know, what would you like your future kids to know about who you are today?
I would like my future kids to know that I want them to know that I stayed down for a long time, right? There's a quote and it says, how does it go? If you stay small enough for long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough. Right? Like one thing that I did was I tried to stay small as much as possible. Right? Like a lot of people when they come across money, because they never had it before, they try to go spend it, and before you know, you end up in a hole, right? Like I want my kids to know, like when they first start to get an amount of success, I want them to know, at least when it came to my life, when I started to see success, I prolonged my spending as much as possible, right? I stayed down for a long time, and I kind of want them to
Discipline.
follow. Exactly, discipline. I want them to follow that same exact route where just because you have something doesn't mean you should spend it, right? Or just because you're in a certain position doesn't mean you should act a certain way or treat people a certain way. Like you said, it's all about, just being disciplined. And I was disciplined for 4 or 5 years before I decided to move out here and just do different things and start spending money and investing into other things. So yeah, just discipline is a big thing that I want to teach them. Just stay down for as long as you can before you get big.
I love that, bro. Your energy is great.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate
You
it.
have great vibes, great knowledge, great head on your shoulder. You have a really, really incredible future ahead of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Do me a favor. Look at that camera right there. Let everybody know where they can find you, your program, your website, whatever you want to share.
Absolutely. Ruben Morillo on Instagram at GetBusyRu. I own a program called FundGenius where I help people specialize in getting funded. So you can search up fundgenius.net. You can actually find my website. You can go and you can inquire for some funding yourself. But if you're watching this, you have a startup business and you're looking to receive access to capital, or if you have a developed business and you're looking for capital, fundgenius.net is where you want to be. Thank you, guys.
I got to tell you, you're a great speaker.
Yeah.
You should consider doing your own podcast.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I had one.
Dude?
I had one back home in Mass. Yeah. And I would bring on certain people, but once I moved out here, I kind of just stopped everything. Yeah.
Consider taking it back on. Yeah, no, you're a very good speaker. You have a great mind, and you can connect very well. And I think it's another avenue for you to get clients.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Might have to set something up.
Go for it, man. I rent the studio out. Let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna
I
have
rent
to-
this out.
We're
Yeah.
going to have to rent it out. This is beautiful.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I wish you none but the best, bro. I cannot wait to see what you do next.
I appreciate it.
Guys, go follow Ruben. If you need funding, you already know who to connect with. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. We'll see you guys next time.